This is the Yanks Go Yard podcast with Adam Weinrib and Thomas Carranante.
Welcome to the Yankees Go Yard podcast. I'm Adam Weinrib alongside Thomas Carranante. Yesterday we did a show, 1-1 series, wild card, game 3, the Boston Red Sox. We were like, hey, maybe we'll see you on Monday at our normal time. Maybe we'll see you tomorrow. We'll do a quick post-mortem. If it's a brutal loss, maybe we'll go live last night. Who knows? Instead, it was a dream, like a dreamscape. 3 hours of baseball, nothing went wrong. The Boston Red Sox did not put up a fight. Alex Cora managed the 2 worst games I've ever seen Alex Cora manage back-to-back. Yeah. His malfeasance in game 2 made his malfeasance in game 3 possible. It was glaring. The Boston Red Sox defense did not come to play. The Boston Red Sox did not meet the moment. And after all of the love and accolades went to Connolly Early for his 4 starts, making a crucial do-or-die start, everybody forgot to talk about Cam Schlittler in his 15th start, but we didn't. And then we watched the legend get born. And it was not Connolly Early. It was Cam Schlittler, who had a top 10, 5 start in New York Yankees postseason history. A top 20 start in Major League Baseball postseason history. If you're dinging him, the only thing you can ding him for is that it was the wild card series. But if you're doing that, you're leaving out the Yankees Red Sox of it all. And the fact that the Yankees have not beaten the Red Sox in a postseason series since 2003. And the fact that the Yankees have not beaten the Red Sox in a winner-take-all postseason game since 2003. But now they have. Now they have. Red Sox fans spent yesterday moving the goalposts, arguing that this was never the year they were going to make a deep run. I would ask those Red Sox fans to revisit their own tweets from June, July, August, and parts of September. They disagree with themselves from a couple months ago. I understand there were complicating factors, but there are
who would say this?
Complicating factors in every season. The Red Sox are missing their 21-year-old wonderkind rookie. They're also missing a Yankee killer who would have put some thump in the middle of that lineup, but they're missing that second guy because they traded him on purpose. Like, they actually did that for real. They chose to trade Rafael Devers, who would have made a huge difference in this 3-game series with razor-thin margins. But again, they took him out of the equation for Jordan Hicks. Didn't participate in this series. Didn't see
Kyle Harrison.
Didn't see Kyle Harrison in this series. Probably could have used him yesterday when they refused to remove Connolly Early with the bases loaded and his whole life flashing before his eyes because there were more lefties coming up. If you wanted to maybe have a lefty face those lefties, you could have used Kyle Harrison. Or you could have used Hardo Garrett Crochet, who, more Red Sox myth-making, everybody was on Connolly Early and the story he told before the game. Again, Cam Schlittler told his story instead. Garrett Crochet was filmed walking to the bullpen before the game.
Of course. Posted
by ESPN. There goes Garrett Crochet for a possible bullpen appearance in game 3. Ooh, the myth of Garrett Crochet. By the way, the broadcast snuck in that Aaron Boone also did not deny that Max Fried might be making a bullpen appearance in this game. But everybody focused on Garrett Crochet anyway. With the bases loaded and disaster occurring and a lefty pitcher, a fresh lefty could have done wonders when Connolly Early's wheels were falling off. Did Garrett Crochet come in and save the day, or was he just posturing for effect so that you would see his Twitter video and it might blow up a little bit? And on top of everything, the New York Yankees ride Cam Schlittler's performance, which was cherry on top, 8 innings, 12 strikeouts, no walks, no damage, no scare tactics, no runners in scoring position, nobody moving past second base, partially motivated by his Boston friends texting him and bothering him, especially after the Crochet game 1, and Boston fans taking up the mantle from Jared Carrabis, harassing Cam Schlittler's mom online, because Jared Carrabis worked up an army of Red Sox fans, faceless lunatics who don't like anything but hate the Yankees, have been doing his bidding for 10 years. Carrabis tweeted that Cam Schlittler was lying when he said that his mom supported him more than the Red Sox, despite growing up, the family growing up in Boston. Carrabis said, that's a lie. 0% true. No way. That's no chance that you would support your son. And then his faceless mob of trolls started harassing Cam Schlittler's mom and saying, you don't support the Red Sox. You should support the Red Sox. Why are you supporting your son? Or you're lying. You love the Red Sox. You hate your son. And Cam Schlittler said those people crossed the line. And Cam Schlittler said that put a little extra oomph on his fastball. And Cam Schlittler from Boston, father of Boston cop, said, fuck Boston coming off the mound yesterday. You guys did that, and you want to know how to get the rivalry back? The Yankees have a Boston boy in the rotation throwing Easy Cheese 100 who destroyed your playoff lives and changed the course of recent Yankees Red Sox history and potentially reversed a whole lot against Connolly Early, the youngest starter in a Red Sox playoff game since Babe Ruth, on the 47th anniversary of the Bucky Dent home run. It was Cam Schlittler, a Boston boy, who sent you packing and started moving your goalposts and said you talking about how this was never supposed to be the year. No, it was, and then it wasn't. You don't have Roman Anthony. That's a real shame. You don't have Rafael Devers. You did that to yourself. The Yankees don't have Garrett Cole, but the Yankees have Cam Schlittler, and they're moving on. Thomas Carranante.
Woo!
Let's float.
Let's do it. I have no problem with any of this Boston trash talk. You want to know why? Because you look at it and you say, that's how we know we won.
Yep.
That's how you know we won.
Have not felt this in a long time. They are crying, spiraling, angry about Fernando Cruz, angry about Schlittler, angry about the defense, and they're just angry because they came up on the short end of the straw here for the first time in a long time.
Excuses for everything too, right? Like we can't, Garrett Cole, not having Garrett Cole can't be an excuse because we.
Alex Bregman was deathly ill. He had cholera, as we learned. People are just tweeting that Alex Bregman's stats after his injury and credit to him for not using it as an excuse. I've never seen a baseball player use an injury as an excuse. What's the last time you've heard a baseball player be like, well, obviously I'm struggling, but did I remember to tell you I have a calf injury? Like they never do that. So I'm not giving him any credit for that. And
what's the injury? He missed time in like June, right?
With like a fast healing
hamstring issue.
Hamstring or leg.
Yeah, I mean it's just good. It's good. I am on board for all of it. I don't like that Boston fans went after Cam Schlittler and his mom, but I'm not mad about it because this is the stuff that we talk about every year, that Yankees fans can sometimes make their own bed and have to lie in it, whether it's getting ahead of the trash talk, whether it's citing 27 rings, whether it's players starting to trade barbs and they don't really have the right to, or they get ahead of themselves and then they end up eating paste. We've seen it a lot. The Yankees are not really good at this stuff in terms of backing up the trash talk in the modern era. And they didn't really need to talk any because they were confident in their abilities and they came through. A weight is lifted. Now, would this feel a lot differently if this was the DS or the CS? Absolutely. I think that the wild card round is whatever. It's nothing to me. And
didn't have to go to Fenway Park, which is a big factor here. Can't act like it's not.
No. But Red Sox fans were gloating after the 1-game wild card, and this was a 3-gamer. And we watched the Red Sox puke down their shirt and pee down their leg, and I'm all here for it. So I am loving that the spiraling is continuing. I am not fazed at all by the goalposts moving or them trying to say that this isn't their year. This is the phases of the Red Sox season this year. Spring training, this is exciting. The fans are buzzing. We've never seen a spring training audience like this ever. Have you?
Alex Bregman is changing. Bregman is changing the culture. He walked into the clubhouse and immediately told the Red Sox, what we want to do is win instead of lose. And the players, they bought in. They learned for the first time that winning is the goal, not losing. So there we are.
Oh my God.
On that foot.
Revolutionary speech. Never seen fans at spring training. I mean, you got to be kidding me. They're packing the house at JetBlue Park because they want to see players play, man. And it's March. Why not? What else are you going to do in Florida? Then, bad start to the season. Slow start to the season. Rafael Devers 0 for 19 with 15 strikeouts to start the year. Oh my God, disgraceful organization. They brought Alex Bregman in and distracted our franchise star. Boycott this team.
Boycott.
Shame on them. Fire Craig Breslow. John Henry. All he's worried about is Liverpool. We hate this guy. You know
I
what,
asked
everybody?
you to spend money, and then you did, and then I was happy for a week, and then we lost 2 games, and now I'm so mad at you that you spent money. Not enough.
And you know the only way to combat this, guys, is you don't give John Henry your money. You don't go to games. You don't watch the Red Sox, because all that matters for them is the revenue, and we're not going to give it to them. But wait, June happened. What's happening in June? Getting some prospects coming up. Okay, looking fun. Things could get spicy. Oh, no, we traded Rafael Devers. This franchise is a disgrace. We hate them. They did this already with Mookie, but they did this with 2 generational players in a span of 5 years. Disgraceful organization. Can't support them. We'll see you next year while we get our head straight. Doesn't matter. It's not the Red Sox year anyway. Don't know what they were doing. Okay, but Roman Anthony's here. Okay, let's see what he can do. 70 games of very good play. 10-game winning streak back in the playoff picture. Trade deadline. What are we going to do? Things are getting interesting. Yankees are still in a malaise. Let's get back into it, Red Sox fans. Let's start feeling good about ourselves. Okay. Yeah. Oh, now we're going to win the World Series. It's August. Roman Anthony is leading this team to success. We cannot believe the position that we're in, beating the hell out of the Yankees over the last month and a half, and we're in a great position to succeed. Division's ours. Might as well just give it to us at the end of August. Oh, no. Roman Anthony's injured. Our season's over. How could we possibly get by without a 21-year-old who played in 70 games this year? There is no way. We had World Series aspirations. No, we were just kidding about that. This wasn't our year. We were just trying to get the youth moving up to see where we were going. Oh, but we're in the wild card against the Yankees are scared of us, so we're playing them in the wild card. It's going to be a bloodbath. We're going to Yankee Stadium. They don't beat us. They don't beat us at all at Yankee Stadium anymore. We have this in the bag. Garrett Crochet, Game 1. World Series. We're getting Roman Anthony back in the ALCS. Alex Cora said it 3 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. He's coming back. This is perfect. And then, look, I will say, that spiel's over now, of course, Red Sox fan. It doesn't matter. We'll see you next year. And look, I don't disagree. It's going to be a really good team. If they can figure out, maybe keeping Alex Bregman and then getting another pitcher in the door here, it's going to be a really good team.
See what they have to give up for Joe Ryan. Like, they're going to get Joe Ryan probably, and they're going to be very good. But this year, it looked like it might have been the year too, and we went ahead and stopped that.
Yeah. So I am going to say this. The Yankees, I think, deserve to win. Obviously, I think they had the better roster, but there's a lot this team still needs to fix. The Red Sox gave this series away, and the Yankees capitalized, and I think that still merits a good series, because every time we give series away to the Red Sox, it happens very often. Mm-hmm. The Red Sox get a pat on the back. Other contenders get a pat on the back. So it is what it is. I would have liked to see the Yankees score more than 8 runs in these last 2 games, especially when they had a multitude of opportunities to do so. And they, last night they went quiet after that 4th inning. Red Sox bullpen kind of just handled business pretty easily. Mm-hmm. The night before, Brian Bayo gets into trouble. They get after him right away. And then they do score 2 more times, but it was few and far between, and it was nerve-wracking. So there's work to be done. The offense still needs to get it together. And I think there needs to be a little bit more harmony in the lineup, the starting lineup at least. But nothing better than what we just witnessed. The Red Sox had us on the ropes after that Garrett Crochet outing. And then I agree. The 2 worst games. Look, I'm not a Red Sox fan. There's a lot of Red Sox fans out there who have been frustrated with Alex Cora over the years, and I don't know why.
Don't understand it.
Because of he's been backed into a corner with the personnel, and I think he's overrated. First of all, I think he's vastly overrated, but I also think he's a good manager. I've watched him a lot. We follow the Red Sox very closely. I don't know how you do a worse job managing 2 games in a row. I don't understand it. I thought Connolly early was actually pitching really well, but
sure was. He
is 4 starts into his MLB career. MLB Network did a really good segment on it. It was Jake Peavy, who loving his coverage. The insight there is great. Brian Kenny and Bob Costas. And Peavy and Casas were arguing that he was executing his pitches and he was throwing well, and they had the lefty-lefty matchups in that inning, and there was no reason to remove him. And then Brian Kenny was like, yeah, but what was happening, what was happening. He was getting dinked and dunked. They were applying pressure on him, and the at-bats were solid. So, like, at that point, you have to say, all right, man, like, you gave us a really good 3 innings. It's kind of coming to a halt now. We got to figure this out. Instead, Alex Cora lets him throw, 35 pitches in that inning or something like that?
Yeah.
He gets up to 78, and then you look at the night before, and it's like, but Bayo went 28 pitches and 2 1/3 innings. I don't understand. And you look at the fact that, yeah, he probably wanted to throw early more because he had less of a bullpen, but you're talking about a very green MLB player who I don't root for players to be adversely affected by that, but that could affect him the rest of his career. That was a tough inning. Necessarily wasn't his fault. The Red Sox defense didn't help him out, but watching Alex Cora fumble that spectacularly, watching the Red Sox defense fall apart, watching the Red Sox not hit. They didn't hit. They didn't. I mean, I don't know. It's crazy. They had the second worst OPS of any wild card team. I know that sample size is small. There was only 2 or 3 games, but like this was a team that was kind of relentless all year, and they went away when they.
Nate Eaton, and Nick Sogard, though. You want to tell me Roman Anthony? The loss of Roman Anthony completely changed this series. 2 of the best players on the field were Nate Eaton and Nick
100%.
Sogard. They went 4 for 11 combined. So maybe you add power with Roman Anthony, but you're telling me he's hitting better than 400 in this series? Like, that's the difference? Those random scrubs and AAA fill-ins carried your offense in his place.
Yeah, I mean, I was so glad Nate Eaton wasn't in the lineup last night. Like, first of all, the throws he was making from right field were ridiculous. And then obviously his speed on the base paths was a pain in the ass. He was pesky in the box. So I don't know how you leave him out of the lineup after what he had done. I don't know what Alex Cora did. I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm trying to think of alternate ways. Like, I see what he was thinking there. He could have went this way, but he decided, like, I don't see what he was doing. Like we just mentioned at the top, if you wanted a lefty-lefty matchup and you saw early, yes, executing his pitches, but having bad luck, then like probably time to bring in Kyle Harrison to just say, we'll give the kid a break. Like
Steven Matz, Garrett Crochet.
Yeah.
Matt came in later in the game. He's got more experience.
Yep.
Like Connolly early threw 78 pitches in under 4 innings, and he threw 8 pitches in the first inning.
Yeah.
That's almost impossible. He could have been executing his pitches better than prime Randy Johnson. He wasn't getting the results, and he was stuck at Yankee Stadium with the stadium shaking and bad defense. The first Bellinger ball shouldn't have dropped. Then he walked Giancarlo Stanton. Is that bad defense? Then he got Ben Rice. Then Ahmed Rosario tanked one 106 miles an hour through the hole. Is that bad defense?
Probably should have been out after that.
Jazz Chisholm lined one into the gap. Is that bad defense? Like the Anthony Volpe ball was a seeing eye grounder through the right side. Sure. And the first batter to reach base was a defensive miscue in the outfield. And shout out to Yankee fans who apparently were so loud that Ceddanne Raphael and Willie Abreu couldn't hear what was going on. Shout out to Ticketmaster for restricting sales to only New York, New Jersey. You guys did it. You're the real MVP. But Yankee fans played a role in that poor defense. And then from that point, Nate Lowe made an error. On like the 8th or 9th pitch of the Austin Wells at bat, lefty, Austin Wells had Connolly early, all lined up. He was having no trouble with him. And that ground ball to Nate Lowe would have scored a run. So it would have been 3 instead of 4. And the Red Sox went on to score 0. So ultimately that error that a lot of Red Sox fans had all that consternation around didn't really matter. Connolly early, after reloading the bases on the Jazz single, that's when you pull him. And at least, if not sooner. And more Alex Cora genius. Like, there was pregame bluster that he was going to use Brian Bayo in relief in this game, or for a specific matchup, or just play that, card and throw the Yankees off again. And people started to say, don't see, that's why he pulled him early the day before, so he could use him today. Where was he? Didn't see him. Was that actually in the plan, or was that just, again, more myth-making? Because you didn't use him, and what you did do, you can play 4D chess here, and you can pretend Alex Cora is looking at the blackboard, and he's Zach Galifianakis in The Hangover, or Russell Crowe in A Beautiful Mind. You can play whatever games you want to play, but the reality is he had Brian Bayo, who owns the Yankees, in a 2-2 game, 28 pitches deep in a potential clincher, and he took him out. 28 pitches because he got aggressive and he couldn't lose that game. He did lose that game. And then he had Connolly early in the mid-70s throwing stressful pitch after stressful pitch in a game that was getting away from him with every throw. And he had him get to 78 and a 4-0 deficit before he pulled him. The Bayo move was with a lead in the series. The early move was without a lead in the series. You don't have to be deep in Fangraphs. You don't have to be parsing every pitch shape and every moment. Just think about it logically. With a lead in the series, he jumped the gun and removed one of his best pitchers. Without the lead in the series, he let a rookie pitcher making his 5th start die on the field. That's it. I don't need to hear any nuance.
No, you really don't. It was I still don't get it because I think you have the ace in the hole here is that you're managing against Aaron Boone, who again I don't think is a terrible manager, but Cora has proven he is the superior manager in various matchups since they both started their tenure. They both started the exact same time on these teams. 2018. Alex Cora has gotten the better of Aaron Boone in the biggest moments almost 100% of the time. It's probably an 89% success rate. So the fact that he thought he had to do these extra gymnastics in order to take the game in 2 so they didn't force a game 3, I don't know. Either way, what's done is done. Watching the Red Sox again puke on themselves was incredible. The Cam Schlittler of it all is really the most incredible thing I have seen in quite some time. On Monday, I was upset, not that Cam Schlittler was starting, but because Luis Gil was not on this roster. And Luis Gil has a sub-1 ERA against the Red Sox in 5 career starts dating back to 2021. And he dominated them twice this year. They weren't the longest. I think they both were 5 1/3, something like that. So they weren't super long, but he got the job done. Neutralizing this offense early is what the Yankees needed to do. And then that would give their lineup time to break down the Red Sox pitching. So I thought that was a sound strategy, number one. And then number 2, just have Luis Gil on the roster in the event. Okay, you want to start Schlittler? Great. Schlittler, we talked about it. He is a rookie. He had 10 more starts than Connolly early. Did he prove himself more? Absolutely. He had a lot of outings that were in kind of must-win situations in terms of how the Yankees season transpired in that middle of the summer. He beat playoff caliber opponents. He pitched on the road against real opponents, all things Connolly early can't say. So Schlittler was much more made for this moment than early was if you were to just take the notes over the last couple months, right? But there was no guarantee that Cam Schlittler was going to do this. This was far from a guarantee. We were all sitting there with our jaws dropped. Cam Schlittler just did the unthinkable. He put forth one of the best rookie starts in postseason history. I don't know if I'll go as far to say one of the best starts in postseason history just because, I don't know. Again, it's a wild card round. I devalue that a little bit.
The arguments against it, I think, are what round it was. I think that's why you devalue it. But in terms of just pure talent, I mean, absolutely ridiculous upper quartile of playoff dominance we've ever seen. The Red Sox did not even threaten in this game. I didn't think that was possible. 20 years watching,
that's where I think we can have a nuanced argument, but there's been a lot of other incredible postseason starts, especially. Okay, fine, wild card round, call it a playoff series, not whatever you want. It's the expanded playoff. It's going to be a serious playoff series in 5 years from now. That's what it's going to be. We're going to look back on this probably a little bit differently, but the fact that there was never a point in this game, Wednesday night, I was sitting there nervous the entire time. I said, every time there's traffic on the bases, every time Trevor Story comes to the plate, I'm just like, this fucking sucks, man. This is not enjoying myself. This last night, after the 4th inning, I said, I don't know what they're going to do. After the 5th inning, he was at 78 pitches. I was like, he's probably coming out now. And then he comes out for the 6th. And then I was like, I don't think he's coming out at all. This is the craziest performance I have seen by a Yankees pitcher in I don't know how long. And it's funny, we were talking Tuesday how Max Fried became the first pitcher in Yankees history to go more than 6 scoreless against the Red Sox in a playoff game. And they had 25, 26 playoff matchups up to this point. Cam Schlittler blows it out of the water. 8 scoreless, 5 hits, 0 walks, 12 strikeouts. And at no point did you say, "Oh man, this is the inning. This is where the Red Sox are gonna get the trap." Even when he got guys on base on first, it was just like, yeah, keep doing what you were doing. Like you were never throwing a perfect game, but like you're untouchable.
Yeah.
It was absolutely incredible to see that, and it was really, really validating to have the rest of the baseball community talk about how inspiring it was, because it's something you don't see often, and it's especially something you don't see often from the Yankees. There's not many rookies that make an impact for the Yankees. They've had trouble developing talent for the better part of the last 20 years, something like that. I understand we have Aaron Judge. I understand there's been other contributors. Luis Severino was once upon a time somebody who was considered that, but a performance of this magnitude in a winner-go-home game against a rival who has gotten the better of you no matter where the games have been played, road or at home. The Massachusetts native version or narrative of it all, and all the trash talk before the game. Boston fans puffing up their chest after game one. It was just, you couldn't have had a better outcome, and I think that this is the most appreciative we've been of the Yankees in a very long time.
Yeah, and there were 2 moments in this game after the Yankees took the lead that I felt even the littlest bit uncomfortable. Nate Lowe leadoff single followed by full count to Ceddanne Rafaela in the 5th. And he struck out Rafaela because that's what he does. And then I didn't feel uncomfortable anymore. And then David Bednar walking Alex Bregman to lead off the 9th. And I'm uncomfortable all the time. So your threshold for being uncomfortable probably exceeds mine. Like, I probably get a little uncomfortable before you, the listener, do. I only got uncomfortable twice in this game. Cam Schlittler was out of his mind. And yeah, we can argue wild card versus rounds in the future. The fact of the matter is, given the task of being the rookie pitcher who could tell the most interesting story with pure dominance on the biggest stage in the biggest rivalry, bringing the rivalry back single-handedly, 2 guys had the opportunity to do that. One not only took the ball and ran with it, but was as dominant as a Yankee has been since Roger Clemens in 2001. And I think changes a lot of discussion too, because people have said this whole time, this whole year, the whole stretch, imagine if this team had Garrett Cole. Yes, I'm there. I hear you. Imagine if this team had Garrett Cole. If this team had Garrett Cole, Cam Schlittler's not here. Cam Schlittler's here because Garrett Cole is injured. There's a world where they eventually coexist. But if this team had Garrett Cole, if you're imagining it, Cole pitches game 1. I have no idea what happens. Fried pitches game 2. Rodon pitches game 3. Do the Yankees win this series? Do the Yankees win this series with Carlos Rodon's start in game 3, what we just saw? The one that he put up in game 2, which is pretty good. He battled. He had some tough moments. He worked out of some jams. He gave up 3 runs. It was tight the whole way. If I don't know what Garrett Cole does in game 1. I don't know what Max Fried does in game 2. I don't know any of that. But I know Schlittler is almost definitely not appearing in this series. And let's face facts. If the Yankees win this game 4-2 or 4-3, and Schlittler goes 5 2-run innings, we're still talking about him reverently today. Yeah, we're still saying, absolutely. What a job. What a job by Cam Schlittler. He went 8 shutout with 12 strikeouts and no walks. Like
I still can't believe it.
I can't amp up the praise enough. I would be totally fine coming on this podcast talking about what an incredible job he did if he had towed the line and given up 3-6 or 2-5 or even 4 shutout. And then we find a nice middle of the bullpen and Tim Hill and Mark Leiter Jr. step up. I would be saying, good job by the kid. That was a really tough assignment. Good job by the kid, or I'm impressed, or this rotation looks formidable moving forward. Doesn't even begin to cover it. That was unassailable, and the praise should be unyielding. And now we're heading to Toronto, where I can't even, people are saying, oh, beating the Red Sox was your World Series, derisively. And I'm like, kinda. It felt amazing. Like they have not done that in 22 years.
Yeah.
That's a really long time. More than 2/3 of my life. Like, it's been forever since I could watch these two teams match up with one another in a playoff series and believe my team was going to win and then see them execute. That's even when I wasn't nervous, but 4-0 in the 8th, my buddy was at a game once I still remember in 2010 when the Red Sox erased a 4-0 deficit in the 8th. Because he was on TV and he sent me the broadcast. And he was like, we were shown in the outfield during this big choke. And I was like, that's really cool. But also, God damn it. So 4-0 in the 8th, my mind is going to, have we ever blown 4-0 in the 8th to the Red Sox before? We did. Because, yeah, he was David Ortiz at a big double. And it's like, that's where your brain's gone for the last 22 years. That's what the Red Sox have done to the Yankees. Sometimes people will tweet at me and be like, why are you acting like Red Sox fans pre-2004 with this fatalistic stuff? And it's like, because fate has come for us.
Yeah.
Over and over. Why am I acting like that? Because it's been 22 years of this. I'm sick of it. You know who else is sick of it?
Sick of it.
Cam Schlittler.
Yeah.
Mr. Fuck Boston leaving the mound. Boston fans have not enjoyed him in the last 24 hours, and they're tweeting at him, and he's tweeting at them.
The
he
tweets are great.
could be the secret ingredient to ratcheting this rivalry back up where it needs to be. But what he definitely did yesterday was reverse. I can call it a generation's worth of trauma. There are young Yankee fans who've never seen this. There are 22-year-old Yankee fans, 26-year-old Yankee fans, presumably did not watch a lot of Yankees as a toddler, who've never seen this. 99 ALCS, 2003 ALCS, blank till yesterday.
Look, we feel a weight lifted, and we saw I remember 99. I remember 2003. Was it as vivid as my, 20s and high school years? No, like obviously not. You're a kid, and sports are not like, you don't understand the magnitude of it sometimes, and you're happy and you're appreciative of the winning that like you can't even fathom thinking about something bad happening. So the weight that is lifted off of people like us, I can't imagine what it's like for somebody who never was able to like be cognizant of the Yankees beating the Red Sox in a massive game with playoff implications that meant a lot more than just advancing to the DS. Yes, you want to get to the next round of the playoffs, but you also want to have the, like, here's the best way I can put this for myself. And I'm not being negative about the Yankees' playoff chances. I am rooting for the Yankees and will be watching every inning from this point forward. There is a part of me that kind of doesn't care what happens now.
Yeah.
Just because we did that. If we didn't do that, I don't know what I would be doing.
There's a part of me.
And it's a part. It's not, I'm not saying, hey, the postseason doesn't matter anymore. Give a shit. We beat the Red Sox. But
I'm not a Red Sox fan. I'm not moving the goalpost that badly.
Yeah. In the back of my mind, I'm just like, okay, we did literally what we needed to do. And I don't have to worry that, and look, like, disastrous things could still happen, right? We'll talk about the DS in a second. Like, they could get swept, and then you're talking about Aaron Boone getting fired, right? But I'm not thinking about Aaron Boone getting fired. That was my Monday morning article saying we know Aaron Boone's fate. We should know Aaron Boone's fate if they don't win this series against the Red Sox at home. It's as simple as that. So now you kind of exercise this demon. Is it fully exercised? No. Red Sox obviously weren't at full strength. They were playing on the road. It was an abbreviated series. We could talk about how that was a little bit of an advantage to them because they had Crochet in game one, and all they needed to do was like masterfully manage one more game to get past, and they didn't. But they didn't, because I don't know why, but if the Yankees did that exact same thing, they would be viewed as chokers and losers, and nobody likes you, and go home. So the Red Sox should get treated similarly, regardless of if this was their year or not. If you're in the playoffs, the goal is to make a run. The goal isn't to say, hey, happy we're here. Like, Red Sox fans would laugh at any other fan base being like, happy we're in the playoffs. This is great. Wonder what's going to happen next. Fun to be here. This is awesome. Like, that attitude would get shot down in any Red Sox fan circle. They wouldn't accept that. They would think you're a loser. They would think you're low energy. And I think most baseball fans should feel that. If you were in the playoffs, you were there to compete. You are there to win. If you are playing a rival, there is no tomorrow. There is, oh man, good try. We did a really good job in New York, and we almost made it, but we didn't. No, that's not how this goes. So the Yankees are here. The Yankees are going to the ALDS, and I do have to give credit to Aaron Boone. Aaron Boone kept Cam Schlittler in for as long as he did. That was the first true managerial situation from him where he, like, threw caution to the wind and said, I do not care. This guy's on the mound. They are not hitting this guy. We are leaving him in. He has never had an outing this long in his professional career. He has never thrown this many pitches in a single outing in his professional career. This is a marquee moment. This is a pinstripe defining moment. He's getting it. He let him get it. And Amed Rosario, I did not complain about this prior to the game. I said this could be an irksome decision because Amed Rosario, for me, in a do-or-die game, you need to have your best defenders out there. We saw what happened with the Red Sox last 2 nights. Jarren Duran, bad play in the outfield, derailed game 2. We saw all the gaffes that happened in the 4th inning last night. That changed the game. If you have an error at third base and allow Alex Bregman or Trevor Story to extend the inning and come to the plate, that could change the entire game. So that's where my head was at. I was saying, Amed Rosario in, I get it. Like, you want to put more righties in there, but we're talking about a rookie left-hander who has 4 starts under his belt, and we're talking about substituting arguably a top 3 defender at third base. Like, I don't know if I agree with this, but I can live with it. Because then I said, okay, you have the righty-lefty matchup early, and if it doesn't work, you can get him out of there. And also, you have McMahon in as a late defensive substitute where if it's a tight margin, 3-2, 2-1, what have you, now you got your guy in there, and there's no mistakes being made. So, played it perfectly. Aaron Boone, nice job.
Fantastic job. And Rosario chipping in with a huge single. Schlittler being given
and the single. Forgot about that. RBI single.
RBI single, hard hit, great AB. Schlittler being given the long leash, right to Bednar, save everybody else, give everybody else the day off. And then the Ryan McMahon play, who my problem with the lineup wasn't that I liked that he wasn't super cute. I do think you got a nice, it was helpful for Boone in many ways. You got a nice preview of why Ben Rice didn't play in game 1. Because Connolly early put him to sleep twice. So I still think Ben Rice should have found his way into that baseball game. But in case you were still questioning Aaron Boone, his motives, the problem is that the Jazz benching made no sense and the infield shuffling made no sense. You got the wrong guys out there at the wrong moments. But Goldschmidt got 2 hits and Ben Rice got cooked by the same Connolly early sweeper 7 times. So I understand why you didn't let him face Garrett Crochet. But Rosario did his thing. I was worried about Amed Rosario batting so high in the lineup so that when you put Ryan McMahon in, you had to bat 6, unless you did a double switch, took Volpe out, put Caballero in, move people around. But ultimately, Rosario bats 3 times. They bring McMahon in. He only gets 1 AB. Looks pretty good in the AB. Doesn't do anything in it, but that's fine. And then, makes the defining defensive play of the game, diving into the Boston Red Sox dugout.
I thought he died.
Austin Wells said he thought he died as well. I listened to Bill Simmons' podcast this morning because, of course, I was drinking up tears, and Bill Simmons hasn't talked about baseball in 15 years. And he had Kevin Hench on, who clearly watched all 162 Red Sox games this year, or pretty close to it. He was like citing specific moments when David Hamilton couldn't bunt in San Diego. Bill Simmons clearly watched 3.5 Red Sox games this year. And it was
his background still the Manny Ramirez photo? Because that was
just a tough start. Yeah, just brutal. Like, I hate the Yankees. Just brutal. Like, your friend clearly knows what's going on and you don't. But they were Bill Simmons was like, actually like that the Red Sox dugout didn't help Ryan McMahon at all. It shows that the rivalry still has juice. It's like, all right, noted, check. You liked that your dugout tried to let a man die on the concrete. Got it. That's what you value. Very cool. They, didn't catch him. Greg Weissert, shout out, helped pick him up. But then he got up on his own, didn't need your help, came out of the dugout, very alive. And if the game didn't already feel over at that point, that was the end of the baseball game 100%. For all intents and purposes. At that point, it was like Harlem Globetrotter shit. The Yankees were just like, you came out to see a winner take all do or die game. We'll give it to you. We'll win it. And then by the end of it, we're going to be doing flips and tricks. So hope you enjoyed yourself. Hope the ticket was worth it. That was the craziest part about the Schlittler experience. Just eventually 7th and 8th, this game was still up for grabs. The Yankees did not add on against the Red Sox bullpen. They should have. It was never comfortable if you only had the scoreboard to reference, but it was an absurdly comfortable watch. And by the 7th and 8th, Schlittler and McMahon, they were just showing off. It's like, all right, I'm still just throwing the fastball, by the way. You guys still can't hit. Unless you're Masa Yoshida, you can't hit it. And by the way, here's a guy coming over the dugout railing to put an exclamation point on the whole thing. I wish I had another 24 hours to really get ready and think about Toronto. it's coming up quicker than I would have wanted it to. And game one is going to be weird. It's in about 24 hours, and it's probably going to be Luis Gil on the mound with Will Warren as his caddy. We finally got the interesting insight that the Yankees are maybe a little upset with Gil for taking some velo off, trying to sacrifice velocity to increase his control and command, and it's not really working. He's still walking people. So he seems to be doing that on his own. You know, it makes a little more sense. The Yankees are kind of frustrated. The FIP does not match the ERA. Predictive stats say Gil struggling with his balls and strikes. All these walks, should be giving up more hits based on the hard contact he's been giving up. We'll probably get a chance to see that because I think he's going to get something akin to his starts in the ALCS last year, where they go, you can give me 2 innings. Can you give me 3? You gave me 3. Can you give me 4? You can't quite give me 4. All right. Will Warren, can you finish the 4th? You do the 5th and the 6th. We'll see the bullpen after that. I don't know if I expect that to beat Kevin Gausman, but it does feel a little bit like house money.
Yeah.
That said, you're going to remember real quick how much you hate Toronto and the Blue Jays and the Blue Jays fans and the Blue Jays players. It's not going to take long. So game one is going to feel a little bit wonky, and you're going to be going into game one with the mentality of, can we take one of these first 2? Can we bring it back to Yankee Stadium? Because the 5-game DS, home field advantage is weird. If you take one of the first 2 on the road, it's not really an advantage. You can just go ahead and finish the series yourself. You don't have to win 3 games to finish the series. You just need to win 2. So if you're able to split this, if you get the first one, oh, holy shit, gravy. But if you can't get the first one and manage to fight back and take the second, and then come home to Rodon and Schlittler, and then with the rest baked in, if you have to go to game 5, it's Max Fried. Like, there's a reason the Yankees are minus 152 favorites on FanDuel right now. I don't know if I would be that aggressive.
For the series or for the game?
For the series.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know if I would be that aggressive, but I think we're in a weird situation where game 1 is the game the Yankees are likeliest to lose. A lot like the last series. Garrett Crochet against Max Fried. I love Max Fried. That's still the game where the Yankees probably have the worst odds.
Yeah.
Game 1 tomorrow is the one the Yankees are least likely to win, no matter who they pick to start. If they do, buckle the fuck up. But if they don't, you're still very much in this. And if you can split the first 2, you should be relatively heavy favorites coming home. The Blue Jays are never going to get that bettor's respect. They're a contact hitting team. They do the little things, and their rotation is disintegrating. It's Kevin Gausman, who wasn't very good in his last start of the year. Shane Bieber coming off Tommy John has been better than they expected, but no Jose Barrios. Trey Savage, a rookie, gets a chance to do his own Schlittler impression in the 3rd game. 4th game, I have literally no idea. Bullpen game, Louis Varland. Like, sure. I would have been not very confident with this team going against the Red Sox, and now I'm very glad I don't have to think about the Red Sox anymore. Now I get to see what my own team does against these people who have no playoff success to their names of any kind. Or they're the only AL East team the Yankees have had appreciable success against in big games under Aaron Boone. And now Boone is actually riding some momentum into that series.
They have never faced off in the playoffs. You believe that?
No, I do believe that.
I don't know. I felt like it's weird. I don't know. It's weird. The Blue Jays were successful. Well, the Blue Jays' 90 success overlapped with the Yankees' disaster. And then the Blue Jays' success in the mid-2010s was Yankees' purgatory land. So it's just weird. I don't know. These teams I felt have been rivals for a really long time. 0 playoff appearances against one another. But, yeah, I mean, I think I don't want to get cocky, but
I'm not cocky. I refuse to be cocky, but I'm a little cockier than I was against the Red Sox.
Yeah, no, I might get I don't want to get cocky, but I might get cocky. It's time. Because it's been a lot of defeatist attitudes coming into playoff series or you come in confident and then, they do something egregious in game 1. Or you come in confident in the 2022 ALCS against the Astros being like, oh, well, the Astros aren't as good as they usually are and we're pretty stacked, and then you get swept. So there's been a lot of reservation. There's been a lot of tempering expectations. There's been a lot of getting the confidence shoved back in your face. I don't know if that's one of these situations. Am I guaranteeing an ALDS win? No, but I would much rather be facing the Blue Jays than having to go to Seattle. Who would I rather? I mean, look, I don't want to rank who I'd rather face, but the West Coast road trip of it all and a relatively less familiar opponent, I think, lends for disadvantage. This is same time zone, team you beat up on frequently. Oh, Blue Jays got us this year. Okay, yeah, we talked about that a lot. Unacceptable the way the Yankees played the Blue Jays this year. It cost them the division, first of all. It, for a moment in time, made it seem like they weren't geared up to play playoff opponents or World Series contenders or handle just the irritable opponents in their own backyard. It's their division. You can't do that against two of the playoff contending division opponents. Like it was a talking point for months for us and for just the general baseball community. They start what? They go 0-8 against the Red Sox to start the year. And then the Blue Jays immediately eat their lunch. They took a series at the stadium, and then they took 3 out of 4 in Toronto.
Thank God we took the first series at the stadium, but it had a weird doubleheader in it. And then they swept us and got all of Toronto talking about how Michael Kay said this wasn't a first place team. Yep. Toronto took their victory lap in July, and shout out to them. It actually was a valid victory lap because they won the American League East, but only because of hanging on by a thread because of the sheer number of games the Yankees handed to their opponents. The Devin Williams game in Tampa. Every fan of every team can do this, but Devin Williams with a 4-run lead in Tampa. Devin Williams in Texas, just trying to shut the door on a 1-run lead. The game when the Yankees, all the games where the Yankees started DJ LeMahieu and moved Jazz Chisholm to third. The game when the Yankees came back from 8-0 down in Toronto, but gave the game away on a wild pitch. Yeah.
Can we do a Red Sox tweet? Can we do like, oh man, all the Yankees missing all these players this year? Prime Devin Williams, prime DJ LeMahieu. Who else do we got? 2021 Jonathan Loaizaga.
Wandy Peralta. Can you believe they did it without him? If they had him, if the Yankees roster was 44 deep, featuring all of their recently decimated players, they would be absolutely crushing it. If their active roster was 42 dudes, and then imagine if Brando Maea panned out, they didn't get to rely on him either, right? Roderick Arias, they could have had him, but they don't.
The Red Sox coping is just too funny. Like heading into this series, they're like, wow, can't believe we don't have Roman Anthony played in 70 games. Marcelo Meyer, I don't remember the impact Marcelo Meyer made. I know he hit that homer against but I don't remember anything that he did that would be like, oh fuck, like they're without Marcelo Meyer. This is devastating. And
my favorite is Nate
No
Lowe.
Devers.
Yeah, my favorite is
Devers.
Nate Lowe.
Bregman not hitting. This is crazy.
Nate Lowe shows up on a waiver claim in the middle of August, and they get a first baseman for free because they forget to trade for a first baseman at the deadline. And I'm like, oh shit, Nate Lowe is kind of exactly what they need. And his first game with the Red Sox hits a game-tying home run into the bullpen at Fenway against the Orioles. And every Red Sox fan is losing their minds. The certain podcasts are calling him Low Vaughn. I didn't forget this. It was a month and a half ago. And then we get to the Red Sox elimination from the postseason, and it's like, Jesus Christ, the best they could do is Nate Lowe. Oh my God, this team is... You were the ones who were praising the Nate Lowe edition. By the way, Nate Lowe was the best you could do in that scenario.
There was nobody else.
You lose Casas, you immediately get a world champion, a 30-homer bat for free. And at the end of the year, it's like, oh my God, I can't believe we had to rely on Nate Lowe. What a disaster.
I also like again, people bringing up Casas. I like Casas a lot. I was really scared after his 2023 season that he was just going to abuse us. He has not played in 2 years, essentially. He has 92 games to his name over the last 2 years. That is not a loss. That is just someone who is not there. That's like us saying DJ LeMahieu is a loss. That's, it's not comparable.
Prime Miguel Andujar.
Yeah. It's just funny. It's a good tangent we had, but yeah, again, the coping, it's like, hey, just before we get into the series, reminding you guys, we traded Rafael Devers. That sucked. Alex Bregman's been in a slump for this week, 6 weeks. Don't know what we're going to do. Jaron Durant forgot how to hustle and hit the ball. So,
he's my favorite Red Sox. It's not even close. Like that was an unbelievably bad series from Jaron Durant, and
all time.
They don't have room for him. Like he's got to go. And now you're trading him. If you had traded him at the deadline when I know the Padres were thirsting after him, if you traded in the offseason when I know the Padres were thirsting after him, you could have gotten a real haul. and you were asking for one, but you were asking for like a tick too high a real haul.
Yeah.
And now you've got Jarren Duran. The Red Sox fans are calling him a body. Again, the Bill Simmons podcast is great. Listen, they call him Randy Macho Man Savage. Like, they hate him. He had the worst series I've seen. He was the most automatic out in that lineup. And again, including Nate Eaton and Nick Sogard. I knew I could get Jarren Duran when I needed to. Yep. And they did every single time. And you just cherry on top, horrible defensive play and bad attitude. And, continually some fans have said things to him that are horrible. Those fans are deplorable and
Not
should
acceptable.
be condemned. Completely unacceptable. And yet Jarren Duran also calling fans the F slur. Like, so it goes and after getting suspended for doing that, coming back with a t-shirt that says fuck them, not great. So if you're doing that, your fans will defend you if you play well, and then they will turn on you if you play poorly, and he's got to go at the end of this series. My hope is at the end of the Blue Jay series. I'm not saying that about any of New York Yankees. Slight roster adjustment. I'm just trying to get us. I feel like I could talk shit about the Red Sox for another 7 hours, but
let's get a segue.
I don't have that time in my day. I think there will be slight changes to the roster. We'll get it tomorrow morning. Jack Curry was saying this on the postgame show yesterday, and if Jack Curry says it's probably going to happen. JC Escarra made sense as a flexibility option in the short series. Cody Bellinger's got a foot problem. He's going to play through it, I think. But if I were the Red Sox at the end of the game yesterday, I would have just hit the ball towards where Cody Bellinger was standing. He ran in on a couple. Obviously, we saw his injury when he was running to first, but he ran in to celebrate the Ryan McMahon play. And I was like, this guy can't walk. He was out there in the outfield hobbling around, basically doing a slightly advanced speed run, maybe a slide. He's getting treatment on it. He says he'll be fine. I believe him. But even if he's playing, I think you got to carry Austin Slater, and Escarra for Slater is an easy one. As long as you don't start Austin Slater, fine. There are no lefties in this series. The Yankees hit lefties better than righties, but righties mean you get more Ben Rice, more Jazz, less consternation. No lefties in the Jays rotation. That is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And then pitching wise, you got to make room for Heel. Even if he, for whatever reason, is not your starter, you still got to make room for him. And Paul Blackburn, it was silly to start the last series. It's silly now, and now it's over. I don't think we need to do that anymore. But Paul Blackburn was only appearing in that wild card series if the Yankees were either up 8 or down 10. And I just really didn't need a guy for that scenario. I would have rather used Mark Leiter Jr. in that scenario. And I would have rather had Luis Heel on the roster so that he could potentially have thrown an inning yesterday if things got dicey. He could have been Brian Bayo. He could have been Garrett Crochet heroically going to the bullpen with his bag and jacket just to sit there for 3 hours and watch the Yankees shove it in the Red Sox faces. I hope he enjoyed it from that vantage point. But I would have rather Heel been on. I think 2 outs from Heel yesterday would have been more valuable than anything Paul Blackburn could have given us when Mark Leiter Jr., who I also don't have faith in or belief in right now, could have soaked up some innings. Camilo Doval could have soaked up some innings, what have you, in a game where they're just getting bludgeoned. Will Warren could have soaked up some innings in a game where they were just getting bludgeoned. So I get it, I guess. But now in the slightly longer series, even less of a need for Blackburn. These are 2 easy swaps, should be painless, and let's see the Yankees make them.
Yeah, let's do it. So, yeah, confidence in going into this series, fairly high. I think the reason being is because, again, there is no discernible moment where the Blue Jays have done anything to the Yankees that either demoralize them or knock them off their course. Sure, they win some regular season games. That's part of the deal. Again, in baseball, you are guaranteed to lose a lot and you're guaranteed to win a lot. That's just how the schedule goes. So the fact that the Yankees have largely gotten the better of the Blue Jays since literally, I mean, I don't know. It's been since 2017 at this point. I have all the confidence in the world that they'll at least be able to hold their own. That's not taking anything away from the Blue Jays. It's an incredibly talented team. They've had a number of younger players step up. Career year from George Springer, arguably. They are not going to have Bo Bichette in this series. Bo Bichette was on course for a career year, highest batting average, battling for highest OPS, and he cut his strikeout rate in half. I don't even know how that's possible, but he did. They're not going to have him. Nonetheless, it's a battle-tested veteran starting rotation. I think they got They have a number of guys in there who are able to handle their business. It's not going to be easy for the Yankees. That's why my offensive concerns over this past series are a little bit elevated. I don't know if I don't know. I need, and I know they come in spurts and they will randomly score 10 runs on a day where you're least expecting it against an opponent that you had no idea they were capable of, but it's about the consistency, and the Yankees' lack of consistency in the postseason has been what's done them in, whether it's fundamentals, whether it's runners in scoring position, whether it's starting pitchers delivering on, 1 through 3. Whether it's the bullpen not melting down, whether it's the lineup just being able to put runs across the plate or put pressure on the opposing pitcher. A multitude of those elements have affected the Yankees and have forced them to fall short since 2018, even since 2017. You can go back in the offense that year in the ALCS. It was just like, dude, the pitching had no business doing what it did against the Astros, and you could only score 1 or 2 runs. Like, it's not acceptable. You're not going to win games like that. So I know what the Yankees are going up against, but I think there's a little bit of a mental edge here. I think there's a momentum factor here. I think taking those games and having that weight lifted with the victory over the Red Sox plays a lot here mentally for the Yankees. I think that now they feel like they can go out and do something that previously maybe other members of the media didn't, maybe even members of the fan base. Judge put it perfectly. And this is why I love Aaron Judge, and this is why I respect Aaron Judge. It's because they asked him about, after game 1, was the sky falling? Was everybody losing their minds? And he was like, no, that's just you guys. That's the media. That's the fans. And it's like, okay, touche, man. I get it. I understand. Like Aaron Boone says this all the time, where he's like, we're fine back here. We're all good. And it's, I don't not believe it, but at the same time, if drastically crazy things have happened that have derailed your ability to get to the mountaintop, I can't believe what you're saying fully. I can't buy into it fully. I can't believe, oh yeah, these guys are, cool, calm, and collected under pressure, but we're going to choke away Game 5 of the World Series in epic fashion. We are going to get swept by the Astros in the ALCS. We are going to lose to the Boston Red Sox on the road in a 1-game playoff and not come prepared. We are going to try to get cute against the Rays in the 2020 ALDS, and we're going to fold like a lawn chair. So, like, I get that they're trying to instill some sort of philosophy of that nature where it's like, we just got to keep rolling. We got to put our head down. This is the first time I believe it, because the sky was falling if you were a fan or if you were a beat reporter after Tuesday night. They had gotten bludgeoned by Garrett Crochet. The Red Sox used none of their bullpen. The Yankees lineup change failed in front of their eyes. They managed to squander bases loaded, no outs in the 9th against a reliever that they had had for however many previous years, that took those exact moments as a member of the Yankees and just further cascaded and further collapsed and further snowballed. So you look at that and it's like, this is everything that we have feared all over again. The Yankees, credit to them. Aaron Judge says, that's you guys. And he was right this time. It was just us. The Yankees came through. Again, I think it was a little bit of help from the Red Sox. The Red Sox did not put their best foot forward, but part of this game is that's what you got to do. So if you're not going to be able to capitalize against the Yankees are going to beat you. And I think vice versa. If the Yankees had done something similar, if they didn't get the starting pitching performances they did from Carlos Rodon and Cam Schlittler, we could be talking about a different outcome. But we're in the here and now. The Yankees delivered. The Red Sox peed down their leg.
We had every right to be doing postmortems after game 1. Since this playoff format has changed, there has never been a team that has come back from 1-0 down in one of these series to win it. Happened in 2020 in the empty stadiums, but it has not happened since fans were allowed back in the ballpark and MLB decided this was a full go. We're doing this every year. So the Red Sox coming back from 3-0 down and inspiring Jimmy Fallon and Ben Affleck to make 7 documentaries about that. Yeah, that was obviously more impressive. But very ironic that the New York Yankees have now reversed it on the Red Sox. First time that with just 1 game to go, just got to win 1. You've got all the momentum in the world. The team was unable to complete that task, gave it away to a team that they had owned for 22 years, that had been owned by every other AL East team and every rival in the Aaron Boone era, and had set them up to slay and vanquish another ghost in this upcoming ALDS. or you could fall victim. It's possible. But Red Sox Blue Jays was an impossible path given in the comparisons to last year's path were natural. I said, I believe this team is better than last year's, despite the holes in the bullpen, and better set up to put that relentless offense on the field this year versus what we saw last year when some guys who were not major league caliber players anymore, like Alex Verdugo and Anthony Rizzo, were taking up ABs. I believe this team has more in the tank despite their flaws. Yes. But they had such a tougher road with two teams immediately who spent the entire year laying waste to them in their path instead of the Royals and the Guardians. Well, here we are. The Red Sox in the short series was the toughest challenge because of how quickly it's on you and how quickly you have to regroup from Garrett Crochet. If you don't beat Garrett Crochet, you have to make history. If you don't beat Garrett Crochet, you have to do something no one has ever done before to advance. And credit to the Aaron Boone, Aaron Judge New York Yankees. They did it. I cannot wait for the Joel Sherman follow-up to the Aarons versus the Alexes column that he did before the series. I don't subscribe, so somebody's got to screenshot it, but I'm sure it's good.
I actually do subscribe. I'll send it to you.
Please, or at least copy or read it to me. I mean, whatever you
want.
Yeah,
I'll read it. Yeah, bedtime story.
But yeah, they faced a challenge. They have never solved Alex Bregman in the playoffs. They have never solved Alex Cora in the playoffs. They just did under duress in the tiniest series possible with the least margin for error. And Aaron Boone said it last night. He said this was the most pressure-packed game he felt he's ever played in, given the or managed in. He did not play. But given the circumstances, I think he's right. And now he moves on to Toronto with a slightly longer series and a slightly longer leash and a slightly lessened challenge. That doesn't mean they're going to come through. But I do believe if this didn't take too much out of them, that they just got past the most difficult roadblock on their way to reaching the World Series. That is not to say they're going to conquer every remaining roadblock, but I do think that was the biggest challenge. Yeah. And I'm going to pick the New York Yankees to win this series in 4 games. And we'll see if I'm wrong, and I might be. And I said Red Sox, and I said Yankees in 3, but my heart said, Red Sox in 2 is really possible, right? And I was like, yeah, I know it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the outcomes, sure.
Yeah, but Alex Cora made sure that Brian Bayo got out of that game, and I didn't have to think about it. This time, I think the most likely option is it goes 5, but I just have to predict Yankees in 4. What about you?
I think Yankees in 4 as well. And yeah, I'll get cocky. I hate Toronto. I hate everything about them. The team, never been to the city. I don't have anything against Canada necessarily, but I don't like, these are the weird, this is like fake. This is they're wannabe Red Sox. Like, they want the chip on their shoulder. They want to be the underdog. They want to be the trash talkers, and it's just not it. Just play your game, man. It could be so much easier. John Schneider, can't stand him. George Springer, obviously we don't like him. Vladdy's kind of cool, but he's an instigator, and he's not on my team, so why would I like it? Do I have to like it, guys? I don't think I do. So, Chris Bassett, one of my least favorite players. Max Scherzer, historically one of my least favorite players. Kevin Gossman, biggest crybaby in the world. Come on the podcast, guys. We'll talk to you straight up. It'll be a good time. I have one more thing to discuss before we leave, and it's Anthony Volpe has been.
Interesting.
Ben, RBI single last night, found the hole. I know he struck out 3 times, but also a game-saving defensive play, bad throw by Jazz Chisholm that he scooped and kept his foot on the bag, got the out. Just saying. That's it. He's been.
You want to talk about, again, a moment like, I don't think I was alone. I was also in such a weird anxiety spiral where I was watching the broadcast and they dropped the stat about the Yankees all time in the postseason with 4+ run leads. They were like 178-9 or something. And Carl Ravage is like, the last one they blew was 2024. And before he even said it, I was like, no, they did it in the World Series last year, Carl. And then I called myself and I was like, oh, that was 2024. I forgot what years were. I don't know what years are anymore. So, yeah, Carl Ravage got it right. They did it last year. But if you weren't sitting there in the 5th inning going, shit, remember the 5th inning last year? I really hope this isn't the 5th inning again. That was a bad inning. And this was a really similar vibe to that. Although more on the line, given the fact that I don't think the Yankees were winning the World Series having to win 2 in LA last year. And it starts with the Nate Lowe single, and then you get the play where Jazz spikes one into the ground and Anthony Volpe has to make a great defensive play.
And he did.
And he does. And then you're looking at the scoreboard going, wait, we got the out? It's not first and second no outs for nothing. It's the out was recorded because Anthony Volpe, of all people, scooped a ridiculous poor throw. Anthony Volpe was in that game. Anthony Volpe back control. Anthony Volpe defense. Anthony Volpe made the funniest out of the game too. Trevor Story just completely surrendering with 2 outs in the 8th after the Ryan McMahon play. Like, I've had enough. I'm good. I'll swing first pitch on Schlittler. Yeah, I don't care. Grounded it right to Volpe. Effortlessly turned it through to first. How low is the bar? I mean, low, but noticing. Even he's cleared the low bar.
Yeah.
He's cleared a moderate bar.
I mean, think about where we were a month and a half ago with this discussion. This could be a all-time disaster. And look, again, not praising him. He's just been.
Would you say Devin Williams has been? What would you say about Devin Williams?
Devin Williams has been solid. Devin Williams, I think, has been more. Anthony Volpe hasn't. I don't think he's. Devin Williams has. Exactly. This is where I'm at. I don't know. Devin Williams handling high leverage, I think. When it's different for a reliever, right? The ball's in your hands. You got to do it. So yeah. He's gotten the job done when he's been asked down the stretch. The end to the Yankee season again was very crucial with building the momentum. Was arguably among the driving forces that helped them get past the Red Sox. So I have to give Devin Williams credit. He will. There is no way he can repair his reputation unless he has a nuclear postseason run. Do I think it's possible? I wouldn't necessarily bet on it, but there's probably a 35-65 chance that he makes some memorable moments if the Yankees can stay afloat. He's been more impactful than Volpe. Volpe's kind of disappeared into the background in some ways because all he needs to do is just play some defense and not strike out 4 or 5 times a game, and he's kind of been doing that. So it's just like, okay. And that's where I believe Yankees fans are a little bit forgivable because, like, there hasn't been Anthony Volpe complaints over the last month or so. And he hasn't been good. He just hasn't been costing the team games. And I think there is a right for people to be mad when it's like, dude, there is one guy costing us games. There is an option to fix this. You are not fixing it. Why are we not fixing it? The Yankees did take an effort to get Caballero in there, and I think that did help Volpe with the kid needed a breather. The kid needed to reset, get back on track, whatever it was. Devin Williams never really had that because even when he was coming in low leverage, like fans were just like, Devin Williams in the 6th. Like, this sucks. He should be our closer. We traded assets for him. He was the best reliever in the sport for 4 years running, 5 years running, and now he is bad. So Devin Williams get the nod. He's been solid, Devin Williams. And Anthony Volpe's just still been.
Yeah. But these are the two guys.
These are the guys.
We demanded moves. We demanded excellence, and we were right to do so. But a month and a half ago, you've got Anthony Volpe doing this. You've got Devin Williams doing this. You've got Aaron Boone managing like this. It's just, it's interesting. It's the two guys that were most maybe increasing the pressure on a managerial change of now they've been to varying degrees. And that's all I have to say about that. Like Forrest Gump. Look, we could do another 7 hours of Red Sox roasting, and I think we will because I imagine they'll do something else embarrassing by Monday.
Oh, I can't wait.
We will see you on Monday. There will not be a Yankee game that day. Psych. Only because there were 2 the days prior. There won't be a game on Monday. There's no psych on that. That will not happen. But they will play Saturday. They will play Sunday. Doesn't rain in Toronto. They got a roof. Game 3, Yankee Stadium, Tuesday night, obviously. No more 3 p.m. No more afternoons. 4:08 on both weekend days. Okay. Sure. We'll see you there. And we'll see what the Yankees are able to do in the first 2 games and then bring it on back home. We'll talk about it. 2 o'clock Eastern on Monday. We can't wait because it means the Yankees are still alive. And it means we get to the 2025 Boston Red Sox will not be World Series champions. The only thing I can guarantee you today.
And that's my World Series, baby.
It has been 7 years. They went by like that. Not enough. More years, please. The Red Sox won't win the World Series. And better yet, it's because of what the New York Yankees did. It's because of what Cam Schlittler did. We will see you on Monday's show. Hopefully we are inching closer to another dominant Schlittler playoff moment. Get us to game 4. Get us a series win. See where that takes you. Over the weekend, chip away. Be relentless. Mimic the Blue Jays. We're still here. Take care, everybody.